Chris, I have a new idea for our podcast, and I thought about introducing it for season 4, part 2.
You want to start the whole podcast over?
Yeah, that's the new idea.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, the idea is to bring, Suikoden being a first effort from a lot of people as an RPG, it's a relatively safe game, and I think that our podcast season 4 is missing an element of danger. So I would like to introduce a Nerf gun.
Oh, shit.
This is a gun my wife acquired.
Uh-huh.
I sneak attacked. I sneaked attacked her with it the other day, and I accidentally hit her in the face from 10 feet away, and she got very mad and didn't speak with me the rest of the night. Now, I just want to let you know that these darts come out about twice as fast as you're expecting.
Yeah.
So explain to me the concept of the gun circle.
The gun circle was incepted by the Upright Citizens Brigade, I believe in Upright Citizens Brigade season 3 of their sketch comedy show back in the 90s on Comedy Central.
Pro Thunderball.
Yes, and there was a sport they made up called Pro Thunderball, which for all intents and purposes was baseball with violence, right?
Yes.
During a certain inning, a car...
Golf cart. No, it was a car. It was a full
car.
It was a car.
A car would drive the bases, and there were all kinds of different...
An exploding glass baseball.
Yeah, I think you were allowed to throw the bat after you hit the ball.
Yes.
At the fielders. But there was also something... Was it in the outfield, center field, maybe?
Yeah, it was like behind second base.
Yeah, called the gun circle, and there was a gun in the gun circle, and it was there, but you...
The understanding was you were not to use the gun.
Yeah,
it was a sign of mutual trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I'm going to do, this is going to be cocked and loaded.
Okay.
You put that on your side.
On my side?
That's right.
Okay.
Now I have another gun that I'm going to cock and load.
Okay.
I'm going to put it on my side.
All right.
And we're going to keep these guns right here with the understanding that we're not going to use them.
Okay.
But we could. So it's going to keep us on edge for these 2 shows we're recording tonight.
Okay.
And maybe in the future. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Because I mean, I have an automatic upstairs. So,
anyway, Chris, would you like to hear some hot sounds that we've recorded for our audience?
Yes, I would, Eric. Thanks. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs chapter by chapter, beat by beat. This is Season 4, Part 1. We're covering Suikoden. It's a video game we're playing. I hope you're playing along with us or enjoying your memories with us. My name is Chris, and I'm joined today by Eric. Hello.
Locked and loaded.
Locked and loaded.
Locked and loaded.
Very on edge today. I'm sweating, actually. We're also joined by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. You too can join this RealNet at patreon.com/retroam. It's our Patreon page. You can go there. This episode is brought to you by Tokame. Hello, Tokame. Tokame is great because Tokame knows Japanese. Thank you, Tokame.
We are also joined by the FakeNet, our post-production AI companion and lead designer of the rocket that allows choo-choos to escape in Choo Choo Rocket.
Initializing FakeNet. I built the rocket to take away my pain, not create a safety party. Besides, Choo Choo and I are in love.
No, not that Choo Choo. These are mice.
Yes.
Different.
Absolutely. Thanks, FakeNet.
You're welcome, Chris.
So, Chris, last time we got a mace, but he's actually a smith.
He's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because he joined the team of experts in the war battles along with Pesmerga and Clive, who are also deemed as motherfuckers, so he's a motherfucker by association.
True motherfucker, TM.
Yes. And who can also upgrade our weapons to level 16, which I hope you did, and by using all of your money. Also, something else interesting occurred at the end of the Ted death part, where we got Soul Eater level 4. Did we discuss what we gained from Soul Eater level 4? I don't think we did.
I don't think I've ever even used it.
You're dumb.
Yes.
We received the 4th level spell from the Soul Eater. It's called, Eric, Judgment, which is a very strong, powerful attack, which does massive damage to a single enemy, where 4 angels from hell...
That's true. The fallen angels.
Okay, I had to check myself, bring, I don't know what you would call it, force lightning.
Yeah.
Rains from hell or something on the enemy, and it's very powerful. So we now have that, and we can now cast it on boss monsters.
I thought Judgment was a Yakuza spinoff. That's weird.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. I've played a little bit of it. I like it.
Did we talk about, I forget if I made this point last time, about how Futch was excommunicated from the dragon community, and then Flick offered to teach him sword moves because men can only relate to each other through violence?
Yes, men will learn how to fight with swords rather than go to therapy.
Okay, I'm not sure if we nailed that point.
No, yeah, it's important.
But this time we're at Torin Castle, or the Fuck House.
Yes.
Glorious Island Fortress plays, and I hit up Gaspar for more cash for 20 minutes.
Yes.
Then I go to my room to retire to bed.
Yes, when we left off, we were in the middle of discussing the, attacking the northern checkpoint.
Right.
Which is the next kind of destination that we need to cross through in order to attack the imperial capital of Gregminster. So it's the eve before, and we go to bed, but...
We're having to walk in the damn door, man.
Yeah, also don't forget that Victor is also...
Presumed missing.
Well, he was captured.
Presumed missing. It's just a report.
Yes,
you don't know.
Well, you know.
We're having to walk in the door. Mathiu chases me down and says, Commander Tyr, I have an important matter to discuss with you. And we both go in my room because it's important and only we can hear it. Also,
Yes.
Gremio doesn't live outside my room anymore.
Well, yeah.
Mathiu says it appears that a spy has infiltrated the Liberation Army. While you were away, I sent Kasumi and Kryn on a recon mission, which to me, Chris, doesn't show good judgment
No,
into Imperial territory.
but you know, I hate to defend Kryn, but in his defense, he does have a hunch on who this spy is.
Is it like an idiot savant thing where he can't do anything malicious because he's done malicious? Never mind.
Yeah, he wanted to use the herbal knockout
He wanted
tea
to kill
on
us.
Yeah.
According to their report, it appears that there is an intelligence leak somewhere in our army. So if you permit, I'd like to oversee the military training maneuvers tomorrow. Let me get a choice.
Yeah.
No, and as you wish, like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yes, I of course always defer to Matthew's judgment.
Doesn't he usually oversee our military thing? Like, isn't he usually the science master?
Yeah, I think maybe a better way of stating this, and
The medical surgeon?
yeah, is that he is going to keep all of his maneuvering here on the DL and not let anything out so that he doesn't leak what's going on, what's about to happen. I think it's probably what he's getting at here. Now, Eric, there's a very interesting thing that you can do here that if you're really savvy, you could actually figure out who the spy is.
I mean, here in this bedroom, we can do something right now?
Here in this bedroom or
Here's bedroom?
on the toilet, if you have the instruction manual, you can look at the stone tablet of promise and look through all the character names and figure out which character of your mandatory story characters is not on that tablet, because the spy is not a Star of Destiny.
I would think that would be a programming oversight, Chris.
No, this person is just not a Star of Destiny.
Okay.
So we'll talk more about that later. I almost actually spoiled this earlier in the game, but I cut it from the podcast and you didn't catch it.
Of course not. I let Mathiu make his wish. He tells me thanks and then go the fuck to sleep. Before he leaves, though, Mathiu turns around and says, Commander Tyr, the coming battles will become increasingly fierce. I am prepared to do anything to win, no matter what the sacrifice may be.
As we said, Mathiu, he comes to win. He's here to do it.
He hates his job, but he's good at it.
That's true.
Like all of us.
Yes, just like me. I have awoken, Eric. We're back here awake
How
once
long
again.
did it take you to find Mathiu? Because he's not in the war room. He's in his room, which I didn't know where that was until right now.
Yeah, I did. I waltzed over to the war room, and I did notice along the way, which I don't think we've pointed this out yet, but Hicks, Tingar, and Flick all share a single bed.
Yeah.
Which is fucked. They all live in the same room. Also, Humphrey is now sharing a room with his bitter rival, Kreutz.
I'd like to think they don't share a bed, but they go in 8-hour shifts in the bed.
Okay. That they're like the Watchmen.
Right.
The Watchmen.
It's not like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory grandparent situation.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So where does he stay?
He stays in the bottom right-hand corner of the 4th floor.
With who?
With Apple.
Is that problematic?
Apple's his student. Again, we don't know. Is she just hang out here during the day?
He's unmarried. She admires him quite a bit, Chris.
I trust Mathiu.
Yeah.
I mean, as we'll find out, there's a lot of other things going on in Torn Castle, or excuse me, the Fuck House that we don't know about, because there's all kinds of soldiers and kobolds and whatnot that live here.
So you trust the pacifist who hates violence but is nevertheless very good at it? You think his soul's clean?
Yes. He reflects upon the structure in which he engages with.
Okay.
And
all right.
Structure is war.
That's good. Then we go to the maneuvers site after I talk to him. I say, good, let's go. Gate plays. I'm on a big open green field with most of our guys.
Yes, it's Mathiu, Flick, Humphrey, Sanchez, and a bunch of yellow turbans from the Yellow Turban Rebellion.
Hell yeah. What's the Yellow Turban Rebellion?
It's from the Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Oh, of course, right.
Mathiu says that all troops will now head north to attack the Imperial forces. Flick hops and cannot believe this shit. Sanchez, too, was under the impression that this was just a drill.
Just doing maneuvers, Chris.
It's not a drill, Eric. We're not just out here doing maneuvers, hanging out, loitering. We're actually going to do something. Mathiu says that the Imperial Army will think so too. We mustn't miss this opportunity. We will attack the north immediately. Humphrey notes that this is a surprise attack. I too am surprised. Flick says, no wonder there is so much equipment for this drill.
And this is what Mathiu meant by saying, trust me, let me do whatever I want tomorrow.
Yeah, he somehow organized everything without letting it leak so that this information would not leak to the Imperials to the north.
Which members of do you think like the unseen lackeys that aren't allowed to sleep at Torin Castle are the ones taking all of our like equipment everywhere? It's not any Star of Destiny.
Yeah, it's like there's an indeterminate number of like boat guys and boat, shipman repair guys, and they all work for Gen. Like think of all the 108 Stars of Destinies as different bosses around the castle. I have no idea who's in charge of training though.
So everybody's got their guys, basically.
Yeah,
okay.
The guys.
Then we go to the North Imperial Army, like it cuts to their perspective.
Yeah, this is actually, I think, the northern checkpoint where we're now looking at things from their perspective. There is an Imperial running up to a unique NPC sprite that we haven't seen before. This soldier's name is mean-spirited looking-ass Griffith.
Master Griffith.
Master Griffith.
Master Griffith.
Not Dr. Dunkenstein. And this NPC says that the libs are approaching. Griffith says, yeah, but they're out training today, dude. And it seems like already you can tell that Mathiu's plan worked. He let it leak out that they were going to be trained, and of course they're not training. So the Imperial then clarifies they're suddenly attacking us. Griffith absolutely cannot believe this shit. He says, do you mean to say that our spy was mistaken? My God, what shall I do? Then he asks how far the Liberation Army has progressed. His subordinate says that they are right in front of our goddamn eyes.
Speaking of God, this is one of our few mentions of God in this game when he says, my God, what should I do?
Yeah, remember there was an Imperial that said something about there's no God in this world or something earlier on in the game.
That was Krellian from Xenogears. He said there is no more God.
He also said that, but yes, also a random Imperial said this, pray to your God, blame yourself or God or whatever. Griffith categorizes this as a, quote, serious problem.
Yes.
And sends his man to report to Kasim Hazil while he will go and stall the Liberation Army himself.
Stall doesn't mean fight necessarily. It's just maybe
talk
parlay.
shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Battle starts. My score is 15,365 to 3,700.
Yes. 15,365. Yes, Clash. Clash is playing. We are clashing. Griffith's first question is great.
It's awesome.
He asked the Liberation Army if they've had breakfast. Mathiu, a morning person, says that it seems pretty late for breakfast. Griffith tries to stall by saying he's going to organize a surrender, but Mathiu does not buy the bullshit and will proceed to apply the power of the science.
He does say that we're badly mismatched, and I think he's being honest here. He's like, I just don't want any of my guys to die.
Yeah, that will become kind of Griffith's MO. He's a warrior, or I guess a captain of some sort.
Yeah.
His men dear to him.
But who agrees with Griffith is Sanchez, because of all people, he pops up and suggests it might be good to avoid bloodshed.
Yes.
Sanchez the pacifist.
Yes. Yeah.
Griffith says some
guy who always wants me to drink wine.
Yeah, like Jesus. I bust out the Dragon Knights immediately.
Yeah, did you scout beforehand?
No, I busted out the Dragon Knights immediately.
Oh, so you risked bow attack.
Sure.
Okay.
I busted out the Dragon Knights immediately.
Yeah, was it great?
They floored these fuckers.
Yeah, they did. They will always floor fuckers. It's like a free turn unless they have chosen bow attack.
Griffith tries to charge, but I counter with magic and then win the entire thing on the second turn.
Oh, yeah, same thing with me, except for I use the wild geese to kill the rest of them.
Griffith's end dialogue says, I thought that if I joined the Imperial Army, I was all set for life. I was wrong. Chris, this was another impressionable kid misled by a recruiter.
Yes, very true. He just wanted to get a job where he didn't really have to try too hard.
That's right.
And
he was going to pay for school.
And I can relate to him very much. So we then cut back to the gate where Gate plays, of course. Griffith says, hell, I guess we lost. All right, we surrender. Lives are precious things.
I'm starting to like Griffith. He's like, all right, fuck it,
I'm good with him. Yeah, he was probably coerced into joining the army anyway. So.
We get a choice now, Chris. Recruit or cut off his head? What'd you pick?
Even if there was no special event that was on the line here from not recruiting Griffith, I wouldn't cut off this man's head. I respect him.
I chose to cut off his head.
You did?
Fuck the police.
Okay.
Griffith says, I suppose that's inevitable. I lost the battle, but please spare my troops. I beg you. Mathiu then poops on my party. Tyr, I have an idea. Please entrust this man's life to me. Is that how it went up for you as well?
Pretty much, yeah. It went the same way. So you cannot execute Griffith no matter what.
I tried to behead Griffith and it would not let me.
Yeah, it seems that, well, he is required sort of for the next little scenario, so it works out.
It works out? You don't think it was the invisible hand of destiny making my choices for me?
Well, I mean, it depends on, is the invisible hand of destiny channeling itself through Mathiu, or are you just like, Mathiu's got a plan, he doesn't want to
I think Mathiu has a plan, and I agreed to let Mathiu enforce his will, so perhaps this is not the invisible hand of destiny.
Yeah, the invisible hand of destiny has been out of our shit for quite some while.
Yeah, it's almost like I forgot how many there are, and I'm afraid to use it again.
Yeah, I think there's 7 or 8. There's a lot early on in the game. Anyway.
Griffith, who I'm now in love with, says, are you sure? I'm pretty useless.
Same.
Music, Glorious Island Fortress plays, and we're back at the fuck house.
Well, you forgot something, Eric.
Yeah?
Griffith joined.
Tell me all about Griffith.
We don't actually get a Griffith join noise, I don't think. He just kind of is there. Let me tell you about Griffith. Griffith is the Tenritsu star, the star of the Standing Spear. Okay. He's age 27, and he's a combatant. He can fight in your battles. He loves battles. His weapons are the black knife, the black blade, or the black sword.
Black blades are pretty cool in almost any context. If your sword is black, it's awesome.
Yeah, like they even made a cool black sword in Star Wars.
That's true.
What they don't tell you is that Darth Maul used to have it. In the War Battles team, Griffith will join the former Imperial team along with Valeria and a character we don't have. His battle cry is, "Sorry, I always join the stronger side," which, okay. And his death quote is, "How could I make a mistake?" That's all I have for Griffith. He seems like an okay character, but nothing special.
He lacks confidence, Chris.
He lacks discipline.
You lack discipline.
Glorious Island Fortress plays, and then Mathiu speaks while we're back at our fuck house. We will march north before the enemy finds out that we have taken the northern checkpoint. Sir LaPont, I'll give you a battalion to attack the fortress of Duhast?
Solitude.
Sir Humphrey, I'll assign another battle to you. Take the fortress of Rakan. As protector of the north, Kasim?
I keep saying Kasim.
Kasim Hazil will be forced to send reinforcements to the respective fortresses. Meanwhile, we will sneak into Moravia Castle and rescue Warren and Victor.
Yay.
This mission will be carried out by yours truly. Tyr, Kasumi, Kryn, Griffith, and 3 others.
Are you fucking serious? I've got to take Kryn.
Yes, that's exactly the same thing I said. LaPont's like, yo, what if reinforcements attack us? We'll have no chance of winning. And I'm starting to rub my hands together like a goblin when he says that.
Yeah.
Like, please execute the LaPont clan. Mathiu says the strategy then is just to retreat immediately if the Imperial troops arrive. Flick also says that we won't have time to sneak into Moravia Castle, and oh my god, shut up, dude. Stop complaining about Mathiu's plan. You're making everybody think that you're the spy.
Yeah.
Mathiu then says something insane. Don't worry, we too have asked for support.
Yeah, I have a big question mark after that because I didn't know what he was fucking talking about.
What's the support, Chris?
Now I understand it after playing the section, but I thought this was like a weird translation, but it does actually make sense.
We're not supposed to know the support that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Neither does Flick, who says, what, the Dragon Knights?
Yeah.
Mathiu doesn't say anything. He says, no, but they're still a dependable force. Those are the details of our plans.
Mm-hmm.
Please take action immediately. And it reminds me of the Ocean's 11 plot styling where rather than tell you what the plan's going to be, they just tell you half of it and then just start carrying it out and you're supposed to put the rest together. Not that this game is anywhere near that complex. It's all just one big reveal, but it does... I like it when the game leaves something on the table for more than 30 seconds.
Yes. Kryn joins my fucking party with Kasumi.
Who'd you tell you? Who else? Come on.
I added additional sneaky fuckers to my party because we are going on a sneaking mission. So I added Kage, Fuma, and Fukin. Learn something about Fukin.
I don't remember who that is. Please tell me.
Fucking.
Oh, right.
The Quan Temple guy.
Yes, fucking.
He sucks.
Okay, good.
He's not very good.
But he's aerodynamic.
But, I mean, his magic is good, but he's not worth it. Anyway, yeah, who'd you bring?
Clive, Kai for his group attack, and Luke.
Oh, yeah, you could use magic?
No.
Why would you bring him?
Because I haven't used him before.
But he can't do anything.
He has an attack.
Yeah, why would you put him in the front row? He'll get knocked out. He's weak.
Yeah, he does have low HP. He died immediately in almost every encounter.
Yeah, you're supposed to put him in the back row and use his magic because he's got a lot of stocked up, magic stocked up.
Perhaps I understood who might be appearing in the second Suikoden game, and I wanted to get their levels a bit high, Chris.
Oh, you looked it up?
Yes.
Okay.
I lucked it up. Northern checkpoint, music, gate plays. Griffith asks an important question. What do you want with me? Mathiu informs Griffith that he's going to help us sneak into Moravia Castle. We're doing the Chewbacca plan, which means Mathiu is going to pretend Griffith captured him.
Yes, I also have the Chewbacca defense.
Tyr is going to enter the castle disguised as one of Griffith's men, Luke Skywalker. Griffith then replies, I see a ruse, eh? I don't mind, but do you really trust me? Mathiu replies correctly. Think of the fate of your men should anything happen to me. It's true that I would make an excellent present for your former leader, but you are not a man who would betray your own men.
Ah, that Mathiu.
Smart.
Griffin acknowledges that Mathiu can read him like a fucking old book volume 1.
That's right. Which is ironic because I go back into that gate and then get old book volume 7.
Yeah, it was great. Which we've already read. Please see previous episode.
Well, Griffith caps it off by saying, you see right through me, don't you, RMN? When we go to the world map, I fought some rabbit birds out here.
Yeah, those things are cool looking.
Yeah,
like
it's a rabbit bird.
It's a rabbit bird, but they don't have a body. I think their legs just come off their neck.
It's upsetting because it's a huge bird head with like chicken feet.
Yeah.
Like it's proportional. It's not like Chimeran in its influence, but it feels very like kit bashed from enemy parts.
Yeah, for sure. out here I got my guys leveled up because some of them were pretty low level.
Appreciate how quickly Suikoden brings up the rear if your guys at like level 8.
Yeah,
Within
for
like
sure.
5 battles, they're
Like,
at fighting speed.
It respects you for that, but it doesn't respect you if you need to catch their weapon levels up.
No, or make money.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think that the game was designed for you to max out your character's weapons every time you go out somewhere. Like, I don't think the game was designed to provide you with enough money.
Well, let's say that you never use magic. Then you need to, Chris.
You should just use magic, Eric. It'll make your life a lot better. Put
We'll
that
see.
down. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to get me to fucking shoot you, you can do one of two things.
Yeah?
Not use magic or call Peshmerga a ninja again. One of those two things
Let's
are going to
see.
just set me off.
Also, if I shoot you, I assume you'll shoot me because that's the only
That is true.
acceptable response.
So, yeah, we're all leveled up. I've got my ninja guys leveled up too, and now I can do the ninja attack, which is pretty cool because...
Do they disappear and reappear and attack
No,
like
the
ninjas?
Kasumi will do her Yoshimitsu throw, where she'll grab the person and take them into the air and then slam them on their head, while Fuma and Kage have lined up to throw shurikens at them as they land.
How many ninjas are required for the ninja attack? Is it 3?
3 ninjas.
3 ninjas?
Yes.
The movie? Kick Back? Mm-hmm. High Noon at Mega Mountain?
Yeah.
What's the other 3 ninjas movie? Knuckle Up?
Surf ninjas.
No, incorrect.
I know that's not a 3 ninjas movie, but yeah. Anyway, I don't really have any affinity for any of them. I've only seen them like once, maybe.
They used CDs as ninja stars.
Oh, yeah, cool. I love CDs.
Anything else before you went to Moravia?
No, let's go to Moravia, and we arrive there, and the sneaking music plays. What's
Invasion?
Invasion.
Invasion.
Yes,
That's right.
intrusion, something like that. As we approach a bunch of Imperials lined up in front of a Centurion motherfucker.
I thought this was Kasim, but it's not. It's just some guy.
Yeah. They mentioned teaching the rebels a lesson and march off, so it appears this distraction technique from LaPont and Humphrey is working because our guys get out of the way, and
They're upset that we're making fools out of them.
Yes. And guess what? We are. We then approach the door to this fort-ass fort, and Griffith reports to the soldiers there that he is indeed alive. He says the Liberation Army underestimated him and presents Mathiu, military strategist of the Liberation Army, their sensei, their military surgeon. Then he requests to report this information to General Kasim.
The soldier's excited. He says, hell yeah, buddy.
By the way, Tyr never put on his costume.
No.
He didn't get a
He's-
stormtrooper costume. Yeah.
I also enjoy how when we came in, it actually showed that we had fooled the troops. That was something that I think this game went out of its way to show us.
Yeah.
That the plan was working as we attempted it. So the soldier, after he goes to get Kasim, Kryn parties out and asks Kasumi if this is really going to work.
Oh, can I do the Kryn voice again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this really gonna work? If it doesn't, I'll escape on myself. Hee hee.
Wow, it sounds just like Kryn.
Yeah.
Kasumi admonishes Kryn and says, what a thing to say, Kryn. You leave Master Tyr behind. And then Kryn replies,
Hee hee. I don't know.
full empty head shit.
Fucking Kryn, dude. It's weird that the first scenario that Kryn was present, like when we snuck into LaPont's mansion, he was not required then. You know why? Because
He's incompetent.
there was nowhere for him to go because we didn't have a castle to send our extra people to back then.
That's a good point.
And now, fucking, we have to bring him.
The guard comes back out and tells us to proceed to the waiting room. We walk inside. This place has blue carpet. It's a unique feature of this castle.
It's great.
Mathiu says, while Griffith and I are in the waiting room, you must get Victor and Warren. Griffith tells us the prison must be on the top floor of this castle. He also tells us to hurry, suggesting we have no idea how long he can fool Kasim.
Didn't we have another game where the prison was like inexplicably on the top floor?
Glenn was in prison in Chrono Cross. I think every game we've played in the main season, a character has been imprisoned.
Yeah, but on
In
the top.
jail.
On the top. Oh, it was Parasite. The
jail that
the
you
cells
missed.
were upstairs. Yeah, it was weird.
Terra
Anyway.
Enigmas had prison. Parasite. Were we in prison in Star Ocean?
Yeah, because remember we had to go rescue our friends late in the game.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everybody's been in prison.
Yes.
What a trope.
Just like me. Not really. I've never been in prison, unfortunately.
Kryn says we're dead if they capture us.
If they capture us, we're dead. Let's hurry. Tyr.
I deviate from
Scored.
Chris's plan, head to the right, and get a chest with some pink paint.
Yes, finally we have the pink paint. Also, I got a rage crystal from Random Battle. Wouldn't you like to have a rage crystal?
No, it's trash for the garbage.
It's the leveled up version of the fire crystal. So you
Even
can do
shittier.
Strong fire spells.
I speak to the guard above the treasure chest who says he's the keeper of castle records, and I can use him to save or I can rest on him.
Thanks, guy.
What kind of enemies did you fight in this castle?
I fought some hellhounds,
Hell yeah. Two-headed green dog.
some ninja,
Blue ninja.
magus from Chrono Trigger,
Floating demon magicians with blue hair and green skin.
and a whip master.
Bare-chested wolf beast man head with green pants and a blue whip.
Yeah, I think we've seen a different palette swap of him earlier in the game.
I also fought an elite soldier who's just a guy.
Yeah, just another one of those guys.
I think the Beastmaster, though, like, he cracks his whip, and then if he's with any beasts, that he will sick them on us.
Yes. Did we already say that with the Taikiku wear? Did you find that?
Excuse me?
The Taikiku wear?
I don't know what that is.
Did I write that down? It's some sort of armor that only a limited number of characters can wear.
Sounds useful.
But Kasumi can wear it, and it gives a speed bonus.
Excellent. I like speed.
Yes. I fear nothing, I guess. We then make our way through the castle to the upper floor, loop around the balcony, which makes it look like it's nightfall now, maybe? Is time passing here?
There's a distressing number of identical rooms and hallways here.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of got turned... I did that thing where I got into a random battle and then forgot what direction I was heading and went back to the start of the level.
The start of all this?
But then at that balcony, Kasumi says we can't cross, and Corinne says...
Hee hee, I'll take care of it.
Corinne then produces a rope and throws it over.
Yeah.
There we go, hee hee.
We all tightrope across this thing and use our 6-axis controllers to maintain balance. Entering a balcony...
Yes. Fucking Uncharted does it again.
Entering balcony doors, did you have any problems entering doors that were on the balcony?
Your sprite kind of shakes.
Yeah,
a
it's like
little
you
bit.
hit your head. Like you can't hit up. You have to hit up, make contact, and then hit up again.
Oh.
It's very strange.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like Tyr forgot to duck. Eventually, we make it to that jail cell where all of our boys are in jail. Mm-hmm. Kasumi Ninja says this must be it.
Is there a reason you keep saying Kasumi Ninja?
It's the title of a Jaguar game.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, go ahead.
Victor is cocky as always and says, "You're late, Tyr. I've been waiting forever for you to show up." Corinne suggests Victor...
Hee hee, why don't you stay a little longer and cool off?
Sick burn, dude.
Yeah. Did you notice our boy Vincent de Boule is in here?
I didn't. I just thought it was some other guy.
Oh, you didn't recognize that giant rose on his cape?
No, I chose to... I'd between this and when I met Vincent, it was like 3 weeks.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'd completely forgotten who the hell that guy was.
Yeah, it's true.
Victor then shoves it up Corinne's ass and says, "What did you say? Who do you think you're talking to?" Kasumi Ninja says she opened the lock, which I guess means she picked it.
Yeah, and then Corinne's like,
Yikes, whoa, I was just kidding.
because Victor is like spilling out of the prison, stepping to Corinne, which who wouldn't?
Warren comes out and starts talking. "You must be Commander Tyr. I am Warren. I have no last name. Thank you for coming for us." Victor says, "Hey man, didn't I tell you they'd come, Warren?" Warren is like, yeah, you told me they'd come. Do we just get Warren? Who's Warren?
Yeah, Kasumi says we don't have time, we must hurry, and then Warren joins.
Tell me all about Warren.
We didn't learn shit about Warren other than he is a rich man who...
Who's your favorite Warren?
Is noble. Warren from Ogre Battle, the wizard.
I was trying to think. I do not know it. Me in the future, who's your favorite Warren?
Initializing RealNet.
Warren Sapp. Absolute motherfucker.
Great.
Thanks, me.
The one thing that we knew about Warren going into this was that Mathiu thought that he was a respectable fellow, even though he's rich.
Yes, the world's only respectable rich man.
Yeah. And we now have Warren. Thank you, Warren, for joining. He's the Tinky Star, the Lofty Star. He's age 46, and his occupation, according to this, is noble. He's a noble, Eric. He's an aristocrat. We must eat him. Next, his combat, it's a spear. He's a medium-range character. It's called the Slavnil, the Gungani, or the Odin.
Oh, the Gungani, the Jar Jar Binks.
The Gungan,
race.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plural. Gungan. Yeah. He joins in War Battle's Victor's team for some reason. I guess because they were in jail together. Does that create a bond?
I think if you have a cellmate, I mean, I saw the end of Shawshank, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They met up afterward.
Warren's battle cry is, "All right, I'll take you on." And his death quote is, "Have I lost it?" Question mark.
All of his money that he gave away.
And that's all. Thanks, Warren. Warren's arc is now concluded. Sort of. We didn't notice this, and there's never a moment in which Taggart joins. Remember Taggart, the bathrobe man?
Oh, right, yeah.
He's the one that came to the castle to ask us to rescue Warren. And I thought that maybe later Taggart would be like, "Okay, I'm coming too." Taggart joins, but
he's here.
He just, in the same way that like Giovanni, the manservant, joined with LaPlante, Taggart, who is Warren's manservant, just joined. So manservants auto join. Taggart joins.
Is Taggart a battle member? Can I put him in my party and fight people?
Well, Eric, I don't know.
Chris, who's Taggart?
Taggart is the Chima Star, the Devil Star, the devil in the bathrobe.
Sinistar.
Mm-hmm.
I am Sinistar.
He's age 27. He's a servant, of course. He doesn't do anything. He joins Victor's team. His battle cry is, Master Warren, where are you?" His death quote is, "Master Warren, I'm sorry." So yeah, now we have Warren and Taggart. Thanks, guys, for joining. Your contributions are noted, I guess.
They feel especially, and maybe it's just because they're at the end of the game, like they had mapped out, they got to 100 stars of destiny. They're like, "No, we need 8." And they're like, create a rich guy to be in jail with Victor and his handler, accessory man.
Yeah, either that or they had this kind of scenario mapped out, and this was about the extent of what they could finish.
Some of these you're going to mail in.
Yeah.
Right, the Neo-Fio of this game.
Hey, don't talk shit about Neo-Fio.
Did you use Neo-Fio?
A couple times.
I don't think so. I think you're lying.
Just to check out Neo-Fio's attacks.
Throne room, gate plays.
Mm-hmm.
Kasim Hazil's here. Says it's been a long time, hasn't it? Mathiu Silverberg.
Yeah, but notably, we are not here. Tyr is not
No.
here at this point in time.
It is the other side of the plan. 3, maybe 4 years. Why did you leave the Imperial Army? Because of that incident? Mathiu replies, yeah, it's one reason, but more because I dislike myself intensely when I am fighting.
Wow.
Chris, he knows himself.
He does.
That's growth. It takes a while to know what you dislike and to eject yourself from a toxic
I think
situation.
Matthew's always known himself.
But then why do you do it in the first
You
place?
know why he knows himself?
Because he loves killing.
Because he's a strategist and know you're going to know yourself.
But you don't wake up a strategist, you become a strategist. He can't always know himself.
He's a Silverberg, Eric. They all wake up strategists.
That's not how life works, dude.
It's how this life in this world works.
We're not all strategists. Odessa,
You're a strategist or a revolutionary.
you can't be both.
No. Matthew is my strategist. I, Tyr McDowell, am the revolutionary.
Then what's Leon? A guy in a shitty house forever? A squatter? A vagrant?
Leon is absolutely a strategist.
In this game?
Yeah, I mean, he's on the team of strategists with
but
Matthew.
I've been part of plenty of group projects where I'm the strategist and other people just get the credit, Chris.
The reason that Matthew and they had this conversation, the reason that they dislike each other is because Leon was too reliant upon the facts and logic in order to execute a plan, which resulted in the deaths of civilians.
So are you saying that maybe Leon is perhaps like my vice president to Matthew's president, where they don't have any actual power, but in the event the president falls, he could fill in and do a respectable bang-up job?
Oh, I think that Leon is more capable than Matthew.
You have no evidence for this. You have like a conversation and the fact that they communicated by mail.
I have more evidence than this.
For this video game?
Not in this video game.
Okay,
no.
we are applying the logic and rules as written in 1995.
Yeah, but there's got to be something off about Leon because he was hanging out in a deserted town full of monsters.
It was cheap.
I don't know. Anyway, let's go. Where are we? Oh, Matthew, he knows himself. Kasim then notes that it is strange that he would join the Liberation Army, talking about Matthew. He asks Matthew to come back to his side. He would rather not execute Matthew as a traitor.
Tries to call his bluff.
Yeah, Matthew says that he needn't not worry about that. Kasim does not understand what he's getting at. That isn't until an Imperial troop runs in and announces that they are surrounded by the Liberation Army.
Kasim puts it all together.
He does, but he plays it cool. He understands that those fortresses were a decoy, the other attacks. He tells Matthew that he is getting rusty. When those reinforcements return, the Liberation Army will be wiped out. Matthew. Cool as Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Cool hand. What's his
Paul
name?
Newman, Cool Hand Luke.
Cool hand Luke.
Cool hand Luke.
He eats 50 eggs in that movie?
Sure, I like eggs. Matthew says, if they return, that is. Then another Imperial general comes in. This is great, like staging. It just runs in like progressively like a symphony of additional problems. He says that they have just received word that the troops sent out to the fortresses were ambushed by the Jowston army.
Shit. Who's Joustan army, Chris?
The Jowston army is the army of the country to the north.
Joustan.
Yes, the city-state of Jowston. We heard about them previously when discussing the Kaleka incident in the old book, when people died.
There's
there.
something wrong with my brain that when I see Joustan, I think about Jalico, and then I think about Bases Loaded too. I can't explain why I do this. Please help.
I can't help you with that, Eric. I'm sorry. I can. If you want to play Bases Loaded 2 sometime.
I would love to. I'm good at that game.
Oh, well.
That's the game I played at daycare for an entire summer.
Cool.
Kasim can't believe this shit and says, what? Why those? You did this, Matthew.
Yeah.
Like he puts it all together. Matthew then confirms, that's correct. I sent Joustan a letter informing them of the Imperial Army's plans to invade their land. The city-state of Joustan is hungry for this empire. It's quite easy to manipulate them.
Wow.
Okay, explain this to me as if I were a child.
Okay.
Where is Joustan? Is it not geographically connected to where we're at now?
It is. They share a border.
A border.
The northern border.
And why are they a city-state? Is it like an individual city country? Is that what the definition of that is applied to here? Like they don't have a vast like imperial reach. It is just an unincorporated city, kind of like the dragon groups.
Their society is more advanced than the dragon troops. They have.
So there's mutually assured destruction on both sides then.
You mean in terms of these two
Like,
armies at each other?
They're hungry for an advantage, but they know they don't have one on their own.
Yeah,
We've now weakened them.
But Joustan is looking for a reason to attack. These countries have been at war in the past.
Okay.
And that's when remember when Teo McDowell got sent to the northern border?
Because they were fucking around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was some maneuvering going on with the Joustan army there.
Some saber rattling?
Yes. And yeah, he rattled his kangaroos back at him, I guess.
Kasim calls Matthew a traitor and says, you dare sell out this land to the city-state. So we're supposed to be all on the same team here, Liberation Army and Imperials against the city-state of Joustan.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew then gets alarmingly devious. I have no such ambitions. I merely manipulated them. In no way have I joined hands with Joustan. It is likely that the city-state will temporarily occupy this region, but the Liberation Army will permit no more than that. So he's playing them? Like he's using their force to topple what's left of the Imperial troops, but has no plans to like actually make good on his... Like he probably told them, y'all can have this land. Kasim replies to all of that with, damn you to hell, you conniving turncoat. Good insult.
Damn you to hell. I love when people damn people to hell. It's great.
LaPont and Humphrey then roll up, suggesting they've taken care of business outside. Humphrey literally just says, yo.
Yeah, which is Humphrey's shorthand for, yeah, it's good. I did it. It's fine.
Victor and the gang then roll up too.
No, it's not Victor and the gang. It's Victor and me. Me and Victor are best buddies. Who else could be Tyr's best buddy right now? Grimriel's gone. Is Victor my best buddy?
Tengar.
Tengar's not my best buddy.
My best buddy. I'm Tyr. Who are you to declare who my best buddy could be?
Well, Victor's been with me since the beginning.
I would prefer the 14-year-old magician, Chris. We can be friends.
That's fine. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Victor says that we've arrived just in time, but then touching theme plays?
We touch some themes.
Yes. Mathiu says that he must now make a request, I guess to Kasim Hazil. Please surrender. Please understand. I don't think he said that. The ideal empire you once envisioned has changed beyond recognition.
Facts and logic, Chris.
That's true. The emperor himself, to whom you pledged loyalty, has changed too. Do you still plan to cling to the past?
Appeal to emotion.
Yes. Kasim is fucking speechless.
Is Mathiu really a facts and logic guy, or is this just part of the ploy?
Mathiu's not a facts and logic guy. That's why he quit.
I know, but this is pretty factual and logical.
Yeah, but it works to his advantage.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is he putting on a face here? Is this artifice for like his true personality? Is he just trying? Is he a facts and logic guy to manipulate Kasim?
No. Is he turning into a facts and logic guy to do this?
Yeah, like temporarily. Like he's
Yes.
putting on a guise.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then Millich comes running in, which I guess only
Yeah,
occurs
dude,
if you
what
didn't
the
execute
fuck?
Millich.
Yeah.
He calls Kasim a stubborn man, like the rest of the 5 great imperial generals. He asks Kasim if he really thinks the emperor is the same man as they once knew.
Does Kasim have a rune? Is he being like mind poisoned?
I was also wondering the same thing. I think that Wendy either didn't need to waste a rune on him or didn't
As
want
far
to.
as we know right now, Barbarossa, unconfirmed, probably has a rune because he's acting fucked up.
Yeah. Millich?
Kwanda had a rune. Millich had a rune.
Yes.
Tio did not have a rune. He was a company man.
Right.
And Kasim probably doesn't have a rune
Probably not.
because you can only be subject to facts and logic when you're unruned.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it's interesting that like the day that Barbarossa called the Imperial generals to the throne room, like when this game started,
Yeah.
like I feel like that was the time in which they evaluated whether or not they needed to manipulate these people.
Like the ones that were not falling in line maybe got runes.
Yeah,
Okay.
perhaps, or maybe
They
it
were
was
powered up.
Yeah, or maybe it was just the extent of like I need this guy to commit a war crime because those other two were like Millich was using weapons that were banned in some convention, and
He's using white phosphorus.
yes, and Kwanda was elf genociding. So
Yeah, that's a good point. It just made them even more evil.
yeah.
This doesn't quite break Kasim down, though. He says, I don't, but then Millich digs in deeper. You know he isn't. You are one of the Emperor's loyal followers. Isn't it your duty, then, to try and convince him to mend his wrongful ways? The 5 great generals were unable to prevent the Empire from deteriorating. Therefore, the time has come to help the Emperor open his eyes.
Oh,
Do you not agree? But Kasim throws out some dots and says, all right, I surrender. Mathiu thanks Kasim, I can't get this right twice in a row,
Kasim,
for understanding.
the voice of Shaggy.
Goddamn, Casey Kasem, hot reference. Rest in peace, big guy. Fake Net, play that audio where he tries to do the pet birthday and says a bunch of cuss words on the air.
Initializing fake net.
See, when you come out of those up-tempo goddamn numbers, man, it's impossible to make those transitions. And then you got to go into somebody dying. They do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but goddamn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it. Is Don on the phone? Okay, I want a goddamn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a fucking up-tempo record every time I do a goddamn death dedication.
I love that one.
It's great. Classic Casey Kasem.
Kasim Hazil joins as Mathiu thanks him for understanding after he surrenders.
John, before we get to that, I find interesting here is that Wendy's been interfering in everything that we've been doing lately, and she does not interfere here in any way.
Why, for plot?
Well, maybe for plot, but also like it makes me think that Wendy has no use for this anymore. She already knows that she's going to lose the war.
The dominoes are already falling.
Yeah, so she's reverting to plan B, which we'll get to later.
Plan Barbarossa.
Yes, indeed. Yes, Kasim Hazil, as we'll call him for the moment, has joined the team, and he is the Tenyu Star, the star of heroic ferocity. His age is 43, His weapon, Eric, is a sword, the Moonlight, the Blue Moonlight, or the Emerald Moonlight.
I think I got that in Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm. In the war battles, he is the leader of the former Imperial team with Valeria and Griffith. And,
yes, the Fits.
Yes, indeed. His battle cry is, "Keep up if you don't want to die." And his death quote is, "Teo, shall we have a drink together?" In hell. He doesn't say that part.
Teo's definitely in hell. The soul, the rune is basically a facsimile of hell, right?
It has a spell called hell, which sends people to hell. So
right.
I guess. That's all I have for Kasim. Kasim. Thanks.
I'm legit surprised we didn't have to do a big battle here.
Yeah.
Like a 1v1 up there.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy the diplomacy is happening to a small extent.
Yeah, Matthew's got all different kinds of ruses, and we've defeated, or not necessarily defeated generals, but in terms of liberating regions, we did the Necklord shit without a major battle, and we did this.
Mathiu then tells Tyr we must retreat immediately. If we wait around too long, the city-state will attack us.
Mm-hmm.
Victor takes it in stride, though. What? Nothing for me to do? Shucks, I was looking forward to a good rumble.
Victor will have no murders today, unfortunately for Victor.
And it's at this point I feel like I need more info on what Jowston or the city-state is in the context of any of this, but the game, it's one of those things I think they introduce, hoping to expand upon later, such as in a second Suikoden game.
That's exactly what happens.
World map, music, tiny characters in a huge world plays, but then I go back to Moravia Castle because we have to go get a guy that we left in jail.
I hate when games do this, when there is a collectible or a character or something in the background of a scene, and then you watch the scene and then you're teleported somewhere else and you can't just go get the thing. You got to fucking go back and get the thing.
You have to go earn it. You have to go earn that guy. Won't it feel much better once you get up there and you fight a couple more ninjas and beastmasters and further purge the ruffians from this doomed castle abandoned?
Yeah. Well, fine. Let's go get the guy.
Invasion plays and I trek back up to the top of this thing. I got a Mother Earth crystal and a chest up here in jail that I also couldn't get the first time. I promptly gave it to Rock in the vault.
Damn it, Eric. That's the really good version of the Mother Earth crystal.
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
It's the first one you can have in the game with the exception of the one that's attached to Hellion, which I don't think you can take off.
Hellion, yeah, son. I don't need it. So some dude is still in jail. At this point, I still don't know it's Vincent. And my next note is it's fucking Vincent de Boule.
Yeah, Vincent de Boule. Theme of narcissism plays. You don't want to know what the theme of narcissism is.
I only play it once in the podcast because I can't stand it.
Well, it's got some fucking choo-choo horns that go in the background.
Choo-choo horns.
They sound like toot-toot, like Thomas the Tank Engine. Toot-toot.
FakeNet, figure out what Chris is talking about and then play the authentic choo-choo noises to see if he's losing his mind.
Initializing FakeNet.
Could be the same sample library. I don't know.
Might be. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, he thanks me for coming to save his life.
And I tell him total sentence imposed is 10 years.
Indeed. What beautiful thing friendship is. I, Von Son, shall never forget this day as long as I live. Now, Eric, they just messed up, right? Like Von Son.
I can totally see his entire life using a bunch of aliases and him forgetting which one he told us.
But Von Son sounds like Vincent. I'm sure that those two words are pronounced exactly the same in a Japanese dialect. So I'm assuming that they just fucked up.
FakeNet, use the Japanese persona to pronounce Vincent and Von Son. Let me know if that sounds the exact same.
Vincent Van San.
Eric calling the FakeNet to challenge me on all my shit tonight. Thank you.
どういたしまして、爽やか。
We must use the technology available to us to find truth, Chris. What is the purpose of the podcast if not a search for truth and meaning?
True.
Yes.
God, what an awful creature Kasim is, suddenly locking me in this place.
What do you think he did?
The Empire is going to hell, I tell you. He didn't pay for breakfast. Like that fucking guy turned him in. All the way up here, I guess.
Locked him up. I'm sorry, continue.
I feel that's all he said, but I feel like Vincent is a traveling grifter. Like he dresses like an aristocrat, and he walks around and tries
from town to town and just scams everybody before moving on to a new town.
Yeah, I think that's what his deal is.
I tell you what, you tier. You're the leader of the Liberation Army. Text skipped. I hope Chris got it. I, Von Son, in the name of friendship, renounce my aristocratic standing and swear to fight by your side.
Vincent de Boule joins.
Invasion resumes, and I walk out here. But first, Chris has to tell me all about this guy.
I'm going to tell you about this guy. Want to hear about this guy?
Tell me about this guy. Does he have a hat? Is it just Pierre in this game from Chrono Cross?
Sort of. Okay, in his artwork, he's carrying a rose, so he's Don Flamenco.
Best detail of Don Flamenco. I think this is the only thing I ever talk about related to Don Flamenco is when you fight him the second time, you've knocked the hair off his head a little bit.
Oh, good game. Yeah, I'm looking at the Romanji right here. In the wiki, what I said about Von Son, Vincent, that the FakeNet already clarified.
Yes, that we already know.
Yeah, I was correct. So,
Okay.
So
well,
thanks.
let's hope the fake net agrees with you and not your source. Let's leave the authentic Japanese voice to pronounce it.
Fine.
これはすべて機械翻訳されています。これが何を意味するのかわかりません。
He is the Chechen star, the suppressing star.
What?
Sure. He's age 31.
31's far too old for this shit, dude.
Yeah. He is apparently,
It's older than citing.
allegedly, an aristocrat. He cannot do anything in this game, Eric.
What do you mean? Can't hang out? Does he hang out with Milich?
Can't join your party. Can't do shit. Except for he does join the team of narcissists in the war battles with Milich and Esmeralda. He does hang out up there, yes.
What's a good real world use for a narcissist? What can their narcissistic skills be applied for to help a community?
Wrestling.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's about it.
I can't think of anything else, Eric. Narcissists are not great.
SEO?
Yeah, yes. Web3.
Okay.
There you go. That's it. That's the correct answer. Web3.
Fucking Web3. Okay.
His battle cry is, I shall die for your friendship, which is...
I hoped he would say sins.
Nope. I lay down my life for a friend is his death quote. Vincent de Boule's name is French and literally translates to Vincent of Ball.
Oh, Vincent of Ball.
Yes.
Vinny Balls.
Yes. Which is what it says here on the wiki. So thanks. That's all I have for Vincent.
For whenever we get hired to do a morning Zoo Crew show for a week, we'll make it Balls Week, and I'll be Eric Balls, and you'll be Chris Balls.
Yes. Ed Balls.
Ed Balls. I forgot about Ed Balls. When's Ed Balls Day? Has that already happened this year?
I don't know.
God damn it.
Do people know about Ed Balls?
They have to. Everybody knows about Ed Balls. Just Google Ed Balls Day.
Should we have the fake net explain Ed Balls?
Fake net. Explain Ed Balls.
Initializing fake net.
Ed Balls is a British politician who tweeted his own name, Ed Balls, on April 28, 2011. This date is now known as Ed Balls Day.
Oh, man, I was getting worried that something silly wasn't going to happen on this episode.
This episode where we both have guns pointed at each other, Chris.
Oh, man, it's so good.
Fucking Ed Balls. Northern Checkpoint Gate plays. Max comes out to meet us.
Yeah.
Who's Max?
He's a feisty old man who's yelling in his portrait.
He has a crazy arrangement of facial hair, an open mouth, and eyes looking toward the sky in fury, chaos, and anger.
Fury Caraway? Fury Chaos.
Fury, chaos, and anger. But
okay,
Fury
yeah.
Caraway, at least visually, was pretty put together.
Yeah, Maximilian, Max as he's called, is...
More like Max 1000.
Yeah, is one of the more memorable portraits from this game. Like, this is the one that sticks out. There's some people in this game, like Taggart and a handful of others, where I'm like, I don't know fucking
Window.
who that is. Yeah, I don't remember these people at all. But Maximilian, I can just see him screaming in my face that the Maximilian Knights are coming to kill me.
I need him leading the charge for every group battle from now on.
Yes, absolutely.
He says the time has finally come to deliver a crushing blow to those despotic Imperials.
Ooh, despotic.
I think we had the fake net look that word up one time, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I know what it means now.
I don't. I forgot again. Fake net, what's that word mean?
Initializing fake net.
Of or typical of a despot, tyrannical.
We must give the Liberation Army a hand. Don't be late, Sancho.
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 He's a farmer, I guess.
It's a small man with a nice hat and a red collared shirt who says, yes, master. So he's calling Max master. Not good.
Yes, they charge forth but run into me.
Yes, literally.
Max asks who we are.
Who the hell are you?
Yeah, and says that they're in a hurry because the Liberation Army eagerly awaits our help. Sancho points out to this fellow, he's Master Tyr, leader of the Liberation Army.
It's a bit, Chris. It's all a bit.
It is a bit. Max asks us to forgive his rudeness. He introduces himself as Maximilian, former commander of the late lamented Knights of Maximilian.
As my final job, I'd like to lend a hand to the Liberation Army. Please let me join, I beg you. Chris, do you buy it? Is he really a knight of himself?
No, I believe that he's senile.
Like a wandering old man with a sword?
And Sancho is like his caretaker.
Tell me all about Max, Chris. Well, him and Sancho, let's finish it out.
Sancho begs us to grant his master his final wish, which I guess is to go out in a blaze of glory, because that's what he says.
Sancho's like nudging the ribs. Please kill him.
Max joins.
Max says, thank you. Please watch me in my final blaze of glory.
Sancho also joins. Let's talk about Maximilian, Eric.
I wish there were a character like Max who you were just obligated to kill.
I wondered about this trope of this, like...
Sir Barristan?
Sir Barristan the Bold. No, actually, this is like a perfect analog for like Don Quixote.
Oh, Don Quixote, yes.
Yes, Don Quixote.
The store I shop at in Yakuza that has the cheap dog food.
Yes, which Maximilian and his squire Sancho are obvious references to Don Quixote. I believe that the title character goes around with this perception that his entire life is one of like a noble knighthood and he has all these quests to accomplish, but I think really he's just kind of senile.
Oh, so everyone who's playing a JRPG, got it.
Yeah, but they're out in like the real world, I guess.
No one man can slay 1,000 monsters, Chris.
That's
Every
true.
JRPG is a farce of a fantasy.
So, yeah. He is the...
It is a good read, though. Sorry for making fun of it.
I had to get some help to figure that out because I couldn't quite... I'm not that familiar with that text.
Somebody's got to help this kid up.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Maximilian is the cheese star, the majestic star. I agree, star. He is...
I don't know, dude. He's like a runaway train. How is that majestic?
Well, he's age 62. That's why.
Ugh.
He's a human male, obviously. He's the ex-captain, or he's the captain of the Maximilian Knights. He cannot join your team in regular combat. He's too good for that. He only joins...
Of what, psycho bastards? What is his...
Via the war battles, the Knights Party. He's the leader of the Knights Party along with Sancho and Templeton.
Oh, the Knights into Dreams.
Yes, Eric, the Knights Party is the strongest charge unit in the game.
Really?
Yes. I have very specific memories of Maximilian dying during the battles, during the war battles, and like losing him and having to reset the game so that I would be able to get the best ending or whatever.
But there aren't very many war battles left. How can that be possible?
Yeah, there's like one left.
Yeah.
Right? And so I remember him dying multiple times. And I guess
Were these dreams?
I guess I didn't use my ninjas to figure out when I should use them or whatever. So
dumb boy.
But anyway, according to the wiki, he seems to be far more susceptible to death in army battles than other characters. So it is recommended to always know what the enemy's next move is before using his unit. So don't send him into a magic charge or he might die.
So he can use his unit.
Mm-hmm. Maximilian's battle cry is, "By the honor of the Maximilian Knights!" And his death quote is, "This is where the warrior will die." So that's all I have for Maximilian. Thanks.
What about Sancho? Tell me all about Sancho, this accessory to Maximilian.
Yes.
Does he also join a battle party?
Yeah, the same. He's also a member of the Knights Party along with Maximilian and Templeton. He is the Chie Star, the Star of Courage. He's a squire. Sancho's battle cry is, "I'll avenge my master." I guess that only happens if Sancho is the leader of the party and Maximilian has died, which I don't know if that works. Not sure. Anyway, his death quote is, "My master, Maximilian."
Let's go back to the fuck house where Glorious Island Fortress plays.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the 4th floor and I speak to Mathiu. He's here with all of our boys, or at least all the boys that matter.
Yeah.
Mathiu says we have liberated most of the empire, leaving only the imperial capital.
Sanchez adds that the Liberation Army is becoming comparable in force to the core of the Imperial Army, still remaining at the capital.
Victor's like, great, good. He wants to wrap this shit up and go into Suikoden 2.
Yeah.
When are we attacking the capital?
Let's do it. Wasn't there another character in some game that wanted to rush in and attack? Is he Cypher? I don't know. I feel like there was somebody who wanted to...
My brain dinged for Cypher from The Matrix, then Cypher from Virtual On, Cypher from Final Fantasy VIII.
Cypher Almacy.
Cypher with an S, not a C-P-H.
Yeah.
Why?
Matthew points out that we need to get past the fortress of Kawaba, commanded by Ein Gaid, or...
I really think that Kwanda should have commanded Quaba, to be honest.
I always get those two words mixed up.
Or over the water past General Sonya Shulin's floating fortress of Shasharaza.
Sasharaza. Yep.
Lapon votes for Fortress of Quaba. We can't prepare enough boats to attack Shahrazad. Matthew, that coy son of a bitch, says that's exactly what the enemy will think. Don't worry about the boats. I will have 500 of them prepared by tomorrow.
He knows 500 boat guys.
Chris, what can you prepare 500 of by tomorrow?
Me?
Yes.
Personally?
What 500 things can you prepare?
You're going to have to give me a minute.
No, tomorrow, not a minute.
Like starting right now?
Yeah.
Is this by midnight or like the morning?
Tomorrow.
I'm going to say like 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
What 500 of can you make?
Scrambled eggs.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I can make 500 edits to this podcast for mouth clicks and ums. Think about that. Boom. That was my prepared answer. It wasn't reflective of your current behavior. LaPont can't believe this shit and we get a choice. That's impossible or all right, let's get to work. I say that's impossible though, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew takes it in stride and says, I, Matthew, will promise they will be ready. Once again, I say, that's impossible. Because you can pick, okay, that's impossible, or let's get to work. Again, I say it's impossible. Matthew gets testy. They're not ready by tomorrow? Feel free to cut off my head.
Whoa.
Once again, I tell him it's impossible.
Yeah?
You know what happens next?
What?
Victor gets in on this. He says, hey, Tyr, the strategist says he's sure. Let's believe him.
Yeah, let's listen to this fucking guy.
It's like when your drunk friend has a plan and you try to take them off of it, but they won't, like, deviate from whatever they have in their mind.
Yeah.
Chris, I say it's impossible again.
Uh-huh.
And the loop starts over.
Oh.
I do think it's funny that Matthew was like, look, Cut off my head.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
I got this. No, I just agreed. I just figured it would be a one looper.
Finally, I say, all right, let's get to work. Mathiu replies, thank you. I swear I will keep my promise. Please look forward to tomorrow. And like cut off my head is like definitely the bet me $1,000 response.
Oh,
where
yeah.
It's like, I guarantee this will happen.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, Eric, we're about to get settled in for a moonlit night. But first, we're going to settle into the end of this podcast. But not until we settle in with the RealNet.
Initializing RealNet.
Don't point that shit at me.
I'm just holding on to it, man. You want to hold on to yours too?
No, I got to check in there with the RealNet.
You ever seen Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah. Cal L says, some people say prison is like a star ocean. Shy Guy 32 says, this is prison, let's go. John Doe says, I just wanted to die in prison. Cal L says, I love prison, I fear nothing. Eric Von Nine says, why does Victor, the larger of the 2 stars of Destiny, simply not eat Kryn?
If someone disgusts me, I would not eat them.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather eat a friend than an enemy, honestly.
Yeah.
I would like you to nourish me, Chris, if necessary.
Thank you. So if it was Kryn, you would just like grind up his bones and use him as like...
I wouldn't even bury him. I'd let the birds eat him.
Okay. Another Warren G.
Okay. It's time to regulate? What are we doing?
I don't know. We were talking about Warrens.
Oh, another Warren. Yes, of course. Warren G.
John Doe says, kind of disappointed that Warren's weapon isn't just throwing money at the enemies. We talking about the Silverbergs. John Doe says, Odessa was the black sheep of the Silverberg family. Eric Von Nine says, they're born under the strategist star with strategy runes, children of the shield true rune, I guess. Shaka 32 says, what does this make Merrill Silverberg?
No.
John Doe says the true Silverberg rune.
Did we already have the revelation that Meryl's last name was Silverberg? We've already been through that, right?
What now?
Meryl from Police Knots in Metal Gear, her last name is Silverberg?
Yeah,
okay.
we've been through that. Yeah, I think we have.
I already forgot that and just relearned it now.
John Doe says Jowston is a loose confederation of city-states. I think that's accurate. Eric Von Nine says Mathiu starting the 100 Years' War just to win a rebellion. Yeah, you figure that like what he did in terms of provoking Jowston would have been something that you would not want to do in order to not like have a war on your hands as soon as you take over this country.
You just said 100 Years' War. Is that some Suikoden 2 shit? Are the moves we're making now going to reverberate throughout the narrative history of this series?
No, the 100 Years' War is a real war, Eric. It happened in history.
This is a video game, Chris.
I know, but like I believe that like the point of the comment was to indicate that Mathiu was doing some questionably undiplomatic things that may result in a war for the Scarlet Moon Empire after it is no longer the Scarlet Moon Empire.
I think you can we're not smart enough to do this, but I think there's a read for this game where Mathiu is the villain. Because he enables your deepest, darkest desires.
It's true.
And like, I still don't know what Wendy and Barbarossa's end game at this point, like what they want other than all that power.
Yeah.
Which is really what Ultimecia wanted as well, just undefined, vague, ruling power, which I think is it's an imposing motive, but it doesn't make any practical sense.
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting.
But we'll Mathiu has plenty of motive. He's reluctant. It happens to be very good at it.
Yeah.
And he just makes me think it's all my idea, when really he's the one planning everything.
Wayne says, when I think about you, I touch my themes.
I'm just saying, Mathiu is L. Ron Hubbard, and we're more of a Miscavige on this one. You know, secretly alive in a tank deep beneath the earth, L. Ron Hubbard.
I don't think anybody agrees with you, Eric.
Still giving out directions.
These are comments from 15 minutes ago, but Eric Von Nine says, Mathiu is anything to win guy, but actually does care about people. I imagine he's being honest with Kasim right now.
It's a front.
John Doe says, yeah, Mathiu doesn't like this shit. That's why he quit. But having resolved to throw away his comfort for the greater good, he's in it to fucking win it.
I just think even the death of Odessa was carefully scripted behind the scenes by Mathiu to create just messianic figure for everyone to pledge their faith, like do for your army as Odessa would do. Mercurial figure, not messianic. My mistake.
John Doe says some of the 5 Scarlet Moon generals are old-ass military lifers from the Unification War who would have followed Barbarossa into literal hell, thus are unwilling to turn on him even though their glorious empire isn't turning out so hot. My guess is the dudes who got Black Ruined were actually on the cusp of rebelling themselves.
Dude, speaking of retired generals, did you see the one that saw footage of Arma 3 and thought it was the war in Russia and Ukraine?
I heard about that secondhand.
Oh man, fucking...
We live in hell.
Tricked his ass.
Choo-choo, horns. Mr. Slyke says Max most definitely has the storm the Capitol energy. I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
Yeah, I also disagree with that. I think that is not an uninformed read, but...
I think Max has, despite the fact that he may be senile, I think he fights for some sort of justice that we can all get down with.
Yeah, I think his pursuit is noble, even if he is a little bit headstrong and uninformed. Like, I do think he's ultimately on the correct side, which is my side. which is Matthew's side, so perhaps it's not the right side.
Although Maximilian could be susceptible to like being, coerced into that shit,
yeah.
so.
You could just it's like another car drives by going faster and he'll chase that one.
Yeah. If we would have missed the Don Quixote reference, it seems like everybody else would have informed it to us, and I probably would have said Don Quixote.
Yeah, Don Quixote, the store in Yakuza. We've already talked about this.
Yeah.
It's in the southern end of Kamurocho until Yakuza Judgment 2.
John Doe says, Mathiu promising a fleet overnight and delivering sounds like it probably is a reference to mythological or historical war event, but I'm not familiar with the water margin or whatever to place it. I also thought something similar, and I was trying to look up like famous historical military maneuvers in like China and Eastern. I couldn't find like a nice list, and so I really couldn't find anything. The one that I always think of is the one from Three Kingdoms where they chain the boats together and set them on fire.
Well, when all the gray aliens came to our aid in World War II.
Yes, the French.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's it here. We've got a lot of comments, and this podcast is getting long. Thank you, RealNet, for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time on the RealNet, on Retrograde Amnesia, on another episode of this podcast. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia. It is recorded on May 19th, 2022. You can find us on Twitter at RetroAmnesiaPod. You can email us, podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com. Thank you, Mark
Shepard,
for the music.
You're welcome, Chris.
And thanks to all of our listeners, subscribers, patrons, whatever, followers, I don't know, fucking internet legions. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, and access to the RealNet. Eric, until next time.
Chris called you all fucking internet legions.
Yeah, sure I did. It doesn't sound bad.
Well, the ending music just played.
Until next time,
Nope,
Eric.
that's it. The ending music already played.
All right.
I played you out.
Damn it. Absolutely no idea. I mean, can you clean latex?
I usually threw my latex away, Chris. Because it had cum in it.
Okay, have you been talking to the microphone as if you were talking into a podcast, or do you need to get closer?
No, I can talk into it just like this, just now.
Okay.
What's your status for the Mark party? Think you're going to make it?
I'm planning on going. I'm sure I'll be back by like early afternoon or early evening, so.
Okay. Because if you don't make it, I can take the 50 trivia questions I wrote and we can make an addendum to a bonus feature after I ask you them.
Okay. SSD just says, is this a bullshit distraction from the Soylent Honor Test?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I keep going by the Soylent and going, not paying $4 today.
Oh.
Plus it expires in like a month.
What, Soylent?
Yeah.
The Soylent you have?
The Soylent that is available for sale at the grocery store.
Oh, it expires.
The shelf life is not
I
good.
gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. Are you ready for the podcast?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I did not expect this to happen to me. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic Japanese RP games. Chapter by chapter, beat by beat.
Fucking RP games.
I've been going back and forth between saying Japanese RPGs and JRPGs.
Japanese RP games.
But I'm not going to do that because I made myself laugh.
Japanese role PGs. JRP games.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia. That's too funny.
Matthew says, well, Griffith and I are in there. Already said all that.
Yeah, he's using them, but I think he's planting. I don't know where I was going with this. Everything fucking, I lost it all. It's all
excellent.
Gone.
It's all gone.
It's by.
You're gone. All over.
I think he uses them is enough. So there we go. Ed Balls, dude. Wow. Oh man.
I mean, it really is like there are a few perfect sentences, but Ed Balls has everything that you need. Ed Balls, period. Full spectrum warrior.
What is that from?
It's a video game.
Have I played it?
No.
Boy, this is fucking ponderous, man. Ponderous, fucking ponderous.
Initializing fakenet. I just broke into the boys' editing rubbish bin and found the edits they didn't even save for the bonus crap at the end. This is the raw uncut. Feast your ears.
Through AIDS at the I think it's and on the
break.
We're this. There's and while we free the next
on the world map,
they're I got my did can
if you
your note
the other
in the he the Gremios Wendy does like in keep it exactly that when they is a he he's
real word
spring is I have is taking it to up these two he's the verb
if like
the like diplomatic
do
I think Matt quite the of
his like
I'm sorry. Please just give me one more chance.